It's the Five-A-Side podcast here, and it's a cheery Tuesday night for everyone. I'm joined by Matthew Thompson,
Evening.
Ross Dewar,
Hello.
Craig Gregor,
All right.
and Billy Kirkpatrick.
Bonjour.
First order of business, congratulations to Matt for surviving COVID-19.
Thank you very much.
He's on the up, he's recovering now.
Yep.
It's all good.
You'll be able to full on celebrate when Scotland do win the Euros.
I'll be full of emotion, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's enjoying life. But, yeah. Scotland have now fulfilled their 2 friendlies, pre-Euros. Preparation is done. I believe the players are back home for a few days now, before they all... where are we? Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
Travel to Middlesbrough.
Reconvene in Middlesbrough before our first game in Scotland.
Makes sense.
Not salty about it at all.
Where half the players live, I suppose, in England.
Well, to be fair, that was we did miss out on booking Orium first. The Czech Republic did book it, but obviously have since decided they do not want to stay in the multi-million-pound Orium facility.
Why aren't we?
I mean, would you want to stay in
Because we've
Scotland
already
right now?
prepared for Middlesbrough. We've got a plan in place, and Steve Clark is going to take us from Middlesbrough to Glasgow, back to Middlesbrough, back to whatever our second game is, Wembley, back to Middlesbrough, then back to Hampden, and then he's going to take us to wherever our last 16 matches.
Courtesy of Logan Air.
Oh, is Logan Air providing the... Oh, God,
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, they're not making it.
Never
We're not
mind.
gonna have
We've got
players.
halfway up.
Just-
Technical issue. Back to Middlesbrough. Bye-bye.
Middlesbrough to Newcastle.
I just hope the players been home for a couple of days. I
Some
hope no one
flight.
does anything stupid and catches COVID.
Well, I think all 23 of them, or all 26 of them, held a massive house party.
Well, they did have Nathan Patterson there.
Nathan Patterson does love his house
I'm
parties.
kidding, of course. I'm kidding. I've got the Euro fever.
I think we all do. We've all got Scotland tops on.
Yeah, we do.
Aside from Die Hard Craig.
Who doesn't? I know. Disgrace. Boo.
Yeah, there was some good preparation in the friendlies we got.
Yep. We started off almost a week ago now. It was last Wednesday evening, and we took to Portugal because we were in Spain on our warm weather training, and we took on the Netherlands. Good showing. I can't remember the starting lineup, but so I'm sure Craig probably can.
Yeah, it was a reasonably good starting lineup. Obviously, had the 7 players out. One with COVID and others staying in Spain due to caution, just to be safe. No need to risk anything. But yeah, like Steve Clark, see some of the not the fringe players, but some of those players that are looking to push through, like the likes of Turnbull. He started. Armstrong's another one,
Yeah.
maybe not in line for a start, but he also started in midfield.
I've got it up now. It was Gordon in nets in place of Marshall, who was self-isolating. Robertson, Cooper, Hendry, Tierney, Forrest was kind of the back line.
Yeah, it was the back line, yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from when Henry decided to play striker, but
Midfield of Armstrong, McGregor, Turnbull, Christie somewhere in there between there and striker, and Dykes up top started the game.
yeah, it seemed
So
he played a system that it seems like he's going to plan to play the 5-3-2 kind of as it looks like the system he's got in mind anyway.
it all depends on who the forward players are, because obviously if it's Christie, then Christie will drop a bit deeper and pick up the ball and
Yeah,
move the ball on quickly, whereas if it's Dykes and Adams, then Dykes is like the target man sort of, and Adams will try and make runs off him and stuff. But yeah, I think especially after both the friendlies, he's got quite a sort of conundrum, doesn't he, Mr. Clark?
a selection dilemma, which
Yeah.
is a good thing.
A good kind of selection dilemma.
Yeah. everyone's like a bittersweet draw for Scotland. Maybe just it started out fairly even actually with the Netherlands. Scotland could have went ahead. The Netherlands could have went ahead, but Scotland eventually did. And an unlikely customer picking up the goal from outside the box. It was Mr. Jack Hendry.
Yeah,
Really good finish.
did a wee wander up. The high press that Scotland pushed. Let Armstrong win the ball back. And Jack Hendry comes out of nowhere and just slots it in bottom corner.
I think we'd all be proud of that finish.
Yeah, decent wee one.
Mm-hmm.
His
I'm
first
not sure why
Scotland
we
goal.
still have, but it's okay.
Don't know why he was there, but it was a really good finish for
Glad
a
he-
defender.
It was.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I didn't realise he'd scored at first. I was very surprised when the commentator said his name.
Well, I was watching a wee bit behind, so when I got the notification, I stupidly left them on to say that Hendry had scored. I was thinking, I'll wait and see when we get the corner, and
Mhm.
we didn't get the corner. So
That's your own fault. For notifications on.
Yeah, it is his own fault.
I thought the Netherlands were bang average in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't think there were anything special.
If we do go back and listen to the previous podcast, I believe bang average was what I actually said. They are an average side. They aren't the world beaters
They
that
have
they used to
lost
be.
a lot of the big names
Yeah.
over the years. Robin, Van Persie.
They've still
etc.
got a decent amount of good standout players, but they don't seem to link well together as much as they used to. Like they've got obviously Depay, Wijnaldum, Delip, like all those players that are playing for some of the best teams in the world.
Van Dijk obviously
Van Dijk obviously
as
injured,
well.
yeah. But yeah, they obviously couldn't handle Scotland's B team. So
I think we made them look bang average.
well, yeah, it is partly that, yeah.
We played well.
We
Credit.
played well, I'd say. We were pressing even more as well after we got the first goal, and I think it was James Forrest played Lyndon Dykes through, and the keeper ended up equal to the shot.
Yeah, I think it was one of those ones where Dykes just kind of he didn't really know what kind of shot to do and just kind of hit it in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he had time where he could even stopped, look to see if there's another player coming in or anything, or tried to put it low across the goalkeeper. Probably what his best option would have been, but it was unlucky.
these things happen. Was very, very quickly after that that the Netherlands picked up their first goal of the match through Memphis Depay. And that's us. We're going to get copyright strike now for saying his name.
Oh yeah.
But
Sorry, what?
he
Not allowed to say the words
Memphis.
Oh yeah, I've got.
Memphis.
Sorry, a bit slow there.
Good thing no one said it, and no one's from Tennessee either. That would be.
It was a bit of a breakdown from Scotland's defence. I don't really know what was happening at the point.
Yeah.
But ended up just having a clear path to goal.
Well, I think it was a defence disaster, darling. To be quite honest,
Thanks, Bruno.
wrong bloody judge, but parting of the Red Sea for the two centre halves.
The two centre halves were obviously practicing their social distancing measures, staying miles apart.
Yeah, it was very Scotland defending.
It was a blip in what was an otherwise fairly solid defensive performance.
I think one of the ones that Turnbull probably should have tracked the pie in. He seemed to just let him run in, but obviously he's not expecting the defence to just split like that.
Yeah.
But maybe having more experience, he might have tracked him as well. But you can't put a blame on him for the defence just not being there where they should be.
I think a wee bit of blame, but it's not his fault. The defenders just decide to part the Red Sea and just go 15 feet away from each other.
Here's the thing: there's three centre halves in there. So why the fuck are two of them holding hands and one's playing right back? Because it doesn't make sense to me. They were defending the centre of the park there. It's sloppy. They're going to sleep. I mean, we can't afford that in any of the games that we've got in the group stages of the Euros
Yeah.
at all.
No, I've got to sharpen up a bit on that.
I'm sure it was mentioned
I had a
post
thing.
match. I'm sure they've looked at it.
It's always tough as well when you that was the first time that like three would have played together at the back. So obviously, it's hard to learn how each other play. You're gonna have to learn as the game goes on because it was kind of a put together three once the COVID stuff came out. So it was a tough one, but hopefully it doesn't happen in the actual games.
It won't.
Yep.
I've decided.
Scotland, despite in the first half having less possession, managing more shots on target, more corners, just a little, not on top, but like showing what they're capable of against a very decent side. To be fair, I think the Netherlands are a decent side, and I won't take that away from them because I wouldn't say they're just bang average, but Scotland did make them look bang average.
I mean, the
for
top
the 90
probably
minutes.
the top 15 teams in the world. They're no mugs, and I
Uh-huh.
think we made them look extremely ordinary. But I do think that comes down to us improving. Actually, especially against the Netherlands, I actually quite liked the shape we had. The only blip was really like 1 minute of idiotic defending, like and a guy who obviously Depay is a player of real quality. It's just
Mhm.
we sort that out for our games, and I think anything can happen.
Yeah, second half started, not much going. Half an hour came. The hour mark came. Steve Clark rung a couple changes, bringing on Kevin Nisbet for Lyndon Dykes, James Forrest off for Ryan Fraser, and Declan Gallagher on for Liam Cooper.
Nisbet the only real attacking option we had on the bench, considering Fraser was playing. Fraser and Forrest were both playing right wing back basically. So
Yeah, three for like substitutions pretty much.
Yeah.
Not in style of play, but position wise. All coming on. No change to the system, and 2 minutes later, Kevin Nisbet found himself on the end of a delightful Andy Robertson cross, just to tap home at the back post.
It's a very good ball and very good finish from Nisbet to get his first goal. It's always good for the strikers to get their first goal going into a tournament, getting the confidence because I'm sure he'll get minutes throughout the three games. So knowing that he's got that goal means he's not out there trying to chase it in those games anyway. So.
That's good to have it tucked away before you actually get onto the pitch in the competitive games.
It also put his name in contention for like getting on the pitch, considering that the striker that started the game didn't score a goal.
Yeah.
You just put that out there.
I was in the ball from Robertson. I got to say, I was actually really impressed with Robertson over these two games. It's one of those ones where everyone kind of slates Robertson, not because he's poor for Scotland, because he doesn't put in the same form as he does for Liverpool. So it's not that he's poor; he's just not as good as everyone knows he can be. But he seemed to show in these two games he is starting to become better for Scotland anyway.
I think sometimes to me it almost felt like he doesn't trust his teammates the same when he comes and plays away.
Yeah.
He also plays with such an intensity at Liverpool. But I think watching the two games, it felt as if he was more happy to allow the ball to go to his colleagues.
Yeah.
Knowing that they can perform to the level that he needs them to perform. You know, he doesn't have Mo Salah in front of him, but he does have players that can more than comfortably control that ball.
Yeah, that's the thing. The players that Scotland have are definitely capable. 100% agree with that. It's just he needs that. He needs to be confident in them and do it more often, because that's the thing we've not seen from Andy Robertson very often is like him pushing forward and playing crosses in. A lot of the time it's like he gets forward and then he turns back and ends up Tierney makes the run down the line instead of him. It's not a bad thing because like Tierney's balls are unbelievably good as well. So to have two players that are comfortable doing that down the left side when they've got the opportunity is fantastic.
Yeah,
It was good to watch as well.
he seems to have also improved his partnership with Tierney, where they know like one goes forward, the other one will sit back and watch the defence, and like they can eat the overlap, and they work out really well together because they are both exceptional left backs, and they both get excellent delivery into the box. So it doesn't matter which one really goes forward.
No, I really like the way they played together over the course of the two games.
Obviously, like when it comes to the Euros, if we end up getting pinned back, I think both of them sort of need to have that understanding that they both can't go gallivanting up the pitch at the same time a lot of the time, unless there's someone there covering at the back, because we don't want to leave ourselves short and concede counter attack goals and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep, Stevie Clark, he made some more changes not long after the goal. Tierney went off, Robertson went off, Scott McKenna, a more dedicated centre half, comes on, and Greg Taylor gets some minutes in his legs. And one debutant, David Turnbull, goes off for another. Billy Gilmore came on. I thought Gilmore did okay.
Yeah, for the
I
minutes he
think
got, yeah.
he didn't get very many minutes, but he was just sort of brought on to play, get some minutes in the legs, because obviously that's what you need. I think that's much the same as Taylor and McKenna. Like, maybe they won't be starting games, but it's not ideal to have players that haven't had a minute on the pitch. So
Mm-hmm.
it was good to get them on the pitch, because you never know what's going to happen in training over the next few days.
Yeah, and Gilmore's one of those ones that I think could be on the verge of the starting lineup anyway. We showed it in the second game that he's got some real quality on the ball, off the ball. He's really intelligent, so a good one to watch.
Mm-hmm.
For someone so young as well, is just the way he walks around the park, and I think his vision as well, and the way he sees the game, and obviously playing alongside, well, training alongside and playing with players at Chelsea like he does, like Kante, like that'll help him massively.
Yeah,
Unfortunately for Scotland, the referee forgot how to referee for the last minute of the game and awarded the Netherlands a
For the
bullshit
last
free
minute?
kick.
the last minute of the 90.
No.
It
I
was the
think you're
last
saying it
minute.
was with the whole bloody game.
Oh
Yeah, but I'm saying this specific incident was in the last minute of the 90, Billy. Maybe if you paid the fucking attention.
I'm paying attention.
It was in the last minute of the 90 that the referee put on his silly goggles and decided to award a bullshit free kick to the Netherlands on the edge of our 18-yard box. And well, credit where it's due to Memphis Depay. Memphis.
Oh no, we don't get a listen to the episode now. Or it's gonna hear beep 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 beep.
credit where it's due to him though. It's a very nice hit from the free kick.
it was
A lot of power behind it from so close as well to get it over the wall and in the back of the net, as they say.
kind of new when
It's a nice free kick.
it was given. It was I was not confident it wasn't going in because he had one. Maybe
He had one
5
earlier,
minutes,
yeah.
5 minutes before that, they hit in a kind of similar position, except there was a Scotland player there to block it, and just he is a very good dead ball player, so it was always going to be a tough one once you give him that one to line it up to try and stop the
I
second
think
one.
it completely shows though that's a major weakness in the way we play, and it has been for a few years as well. Like, we can go ahead, look like we're going to win a game, and then the dying embers, really, we shaft ourselves essentially a lot of the time.
I think it's tough because in a real game, obviously, he's not going to make that many defensive subs. and making that many defensive subs, we kind of sat back deeper and deeper as the game went on. Whereas, like, if we still had the likes of Tierney and Robertson on, that would have the defenders that would have brought us up the pitch.
Mhm.
It would have helped us get out of the constant pressure. So it's one of those ones where obviously these games weren't really about the result; they were more about the performance. So conceding the late goal isn't the end of the world, but obviously it's something we do have to try and step out the game, stop out the game.
Yeah, a 2-2 result, 2-2 draw, not terrible. A lot of it'll put a lot of confidence in some of those players because some of them haven't played or haven't been playing great between sort of like the last international break and now, but that is a confidence builder to get a decent result and a very good performance out of a side as good as the Netherlands. So, take the positives from it.
Yeah,
Just gotta build from there and realize that, that on our day we're capable of beating anyone.
yeah, I've got to agree.
Yep. Our second match came on Sunday evening, 5 p.m. And I've got to admit, I did miss most of this game, but it was all for a good cause. Myself and Billy, we took a nice wee trip to the vaccination station to get our first doses.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were there, and if anyone is listening, you can get a brand new Microsoft Office 365 package subscription for only a certain amount. Take advantage of it.
No free ads, no free ads.
I'm joking, of course. All for a good cause. Get the vaccine. I feel good now. Over.
Yeah, a good reason to miss the football, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes. Lineup for this game, obviously everyone back apart from what was it? Someone called him John Fuckwit. Yeah,
Okay.
That's what, yeah.
I think Craig typed it in, not me.
That's nasty, nasty.
Pertinent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was back to Marshall and Nets, back three of Hanley, Gallagher, Tierney, O'Donnell, and Robertson wing backs, McGinn, McGregor, McTominay in midfield, and Dykes and Adams up top.
very much the starting 11. I imagine he'll play against the Czechs.
Yeah, likely to be the sort of strongest 11.
Few changes in there. That could be looked at. Obviously, Gallagher, one of them. Obviously, I would probably put Hendry in there maybe, or Cooper could come in very easily as well. I imagine Hanley will start. Then if he's brave, put Gilmore in over McGregor and Patterson in over O'Donnell as well. So
I'd be for those changes.
Yeah, I think it depends what he's doing because I think if memory serves me correct, it was a bit of a weird one with where McTominay was playing.
yeah, it seemed very
Yeah.
much like McGregor was sitting as a sole like defensive midfielder, and McTominay and McGinn were given like free roam to kind of go forward and play as like attacking midfielders a lot of times as well.
That makes sense. The way you play with that midfield makes sense if you've got three centre halves.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, it just
McTominay. I don't think
didn't-
McTominay's the guy to do that.
I don't think you saw him again enough, and I don't think McTominay looked as if that was the position he would really want to play.
I think the problem was because McTominay was playing on the left side and McGinn was at the right. Obviously, a lot of our play goes down the left, so
Yeah.
McTominay was more involved, and he is a good player on the ball when he's got it, but obviously he's not making those like attacking runs that maybe like Tierney or Robertson were looking for him to do. And
Nah, it's not his position.
no, I'd personally have two midfielders sitting and then McGinn in front of them, and just to let him roam across behind the strikers.
If it's two sitting, you have to have one that's comfortable going forward. And I think both those that McGregor and McTominay are both sort of comfortable going a bit bit further advanced, but not playing there the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah, very much so.
Because McTominay, like we've seen him at Man United, he plays a bit deeper. He loves a pass. He loves a big tackle, but he also occasionally likes his wee gallivant up the pitch and occasionally
Yeah.
a wee goal from outside the box.
not afraid
So.
to make himself available further up if he needs.
Mhm. It's the same as McGregor because obviously he's played beside Scott Brown at Celtic for a few years now. So it's that way where Scott Brown's always the sitter and McGregor is the goer. If you want to go those words for it, the
Do we
sitter and the
think
goer.
that two strikers is the way forward with
100%, yeah.
Dykes and Adams playing?
100%. Two active
Yeah,
strikers because although Clark might count it as two strikers when he plays Christie because he plays Christie as basically a second striker, but it's not Christie's. He's decent at it for Scotland, but it's not his position. Obviously, having Adams and Dykes in there, they seem to have a good relationship already. They seem to work well
they
together, and
need a better relationship with the back of the
they
net.
do need a better relationship with the back of the net.
From what I've seen, they were very good, and they linked up a few times in the first sort of half hour, first half really. One of those times was for the goal, and it's just it's just like it's like they knew what each other was wanting to do. They had that understanding between them, and yeah.
I was gonna say Dykes is very good work rate wise. Like I think against like teams are difficult to break down. He'll go run the channel. He'll come short. He'll go long, and I think that can go a long way.
Yeah,
He's so
I do.
versatile.
However, think like the couple of chances he had, he really has to be doing a lot better. I know it's only a friendly, and friendlies don't matter for much, but
That would have been nice to get a few goals under the belt.
yeah, it was
Mhm.
a tough one for a tough evening for them. They just didn't seem to know where the net was half the time, but hopefully they've got a week's worth of finishing training then to sort that out.
I think probably the red card probably impacted Scotland more than
It ruined the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
because it just became a training exercise at the point. You know, the whole value of the game and what you'd learn from it was completely lost.
I think the red card that came, was it Adams and Dykes linking up again, and
Yeah.
Dykes got pulled down.
Adams put a nice wee free ball. Dykes went through, and the player he didn't have to pull him down because he had Dykes covered. And not in a friendly. There's no point in getting yourself sent off in a friendly like that.
No.
But I mean,
It's maybe one of those ones where it's a friendly. Like, does the ref let that go?
Yeah, you have to send them off.
I feel like I don't think the ref can let that go in a friendly. It's a red card, like without a doubt. So, yeah.
It was just an unfortunate one where the game was like we were doing well trying to break down a full team, and then it just kind of felt like the game died a bit.
Yeah.
When the red card came, because we were never really threatened by them, and it was just It was just a matter of could we actually break them down, which we did a few times. And if we had strikers that could score goals, we would have scored a few goals. So.
It was a game of well, it should have been more. It should have been like 5 or 6 really, going by the sort of clear cut chances we had. The second half is I caught most of it, and just from what I've seen, it was just a bit dry. Like, yeah, Scotland dominating possession, and then creating chances. Had I think it was 10 attempts at goal, with only 5 of them on target. So that's something definitely to look at.
10 with 5 on target is decent, really, in a normal game. The 5 on target weren't really in
First
any
half was
danger
7 with 2
in.
on target, which is also not fantastic.
Yeah, I think in the second half, I think Gilmore coming on for McGregor. McGregor obviously played so many games in the last 3.5 years. He's averaged 60 games a calendar year, which is a lot of games.
More than anyone, I think.
So obviously he's going to be
European football
getting leggy at these points. Gilmore came on and he looked really lively. he looked to pick up the ball in the middle and drive forward with it. Like he looked like a really good player. And if he doesn't get much game time this Euros, I'm sure he'll be looked at for the qualifiers for the next
Yeah,
tournament.
and first,
But
yeah.
I've got to say on the Callum McGregor thing, like, he's good, but he gets overplayed. Like, he gets run into the ground, and
I
it's
also think he's replaceable as well in that team because we've got such a vast
I,
amount of midfielders.
yeah, that's the thing. I really would have thought that maybe like he'd get rested
I agree.
for one game or the other, like wouldn't play at all because it didn't make sense to risk him when he's likely going to start the first game of the Euros for us.
Yeah, it was a very surprising one.
Going by what Steve Clark does, like
No, I agree.
it would be nice to see him get a rest.
Yeah, and very proud because it was like the ideal game for him to start Gilmore in that position and see what Gilmore can do for a full game, and where he can handle like how well he copes like at that stage playing a full game, etc. So
Well, they got attacked.
and he did get
Couldn't even,
that
couldn't even play it. When did we bring him on?
And he got
half time.
about half an hour.
Yeah, and then he got
He got
attacked.
about half an hour, and he got brutally murdered.
He did.
Graceful.
It did look very sore, and it seems like he is okay now. So that's good.
They've said that it was just precautionary. Nathan Patterson, he came on around the hour mark and thoroughly impressed in his
He was good.
first call up for Scotland.
Looked really good.
Just like he ran a lot, and that's all you can ask for. There was a couple of times like he got down and he'd had chances for crosses or made passes inside and stuff, and it was just bright and refreshing. But
Him and Forrest actually linked up
Yeah.
quite well together. I didn't have a great chance to watch all of it, but the parts I did watch, especially when Forrest has such a level of experience, he can slot into right back and they can overlap.
Yeah,
Could potentially be used in games.
with
A lot of
Patterson,
pace as well.
Patterson being such
I think we almost
he's a right back that is not afraid to go forward a lot, and then so that's like what we've got on our side with Robertson, whereas O'Donnell is probably more of your defensive right back. Like he could sit back and defend if you needed him to.
Mm-hmm.
I think we end up playing like a four at the back when for the last 15 minutes when James Forrest came on.
Yeah, like a 4-2-4, I think it was.
More or less.
Yeah, that's
Fraser, Forrest, and Nisbet and Adams up top, was there something like that at the end? So, or Nisbet and Dykes. I can't remember who else.
Yeah, Nisbet and Adams for the last 10 minutes. But
so it was quite attacking, obviously. Like we've stated, we couldn't get that second goal because. But there was some really good crosses coming in from both sides of the box, from the wingers and from the fullbacks, and it was looking good.
I think it made sense though as well to see us playing with two wingers on the pitch at the same time. It was weird that he wasn't going to consider looking at that before the injury to Gilmore, because I would have thought just to try it, just see, because obviously they are two players that are naturally sort of like wide attacking players. I know Fraser's played quite a lot deeper in like wing back positions, but James Forrest hasn't really, apart from for Scotland.
Yeah, well, they are,
and he's not the
they're
best.
Also both quite versatile players. I know, like Fraser especially, like he's played striker a few times, or like in that cam position as well. I think he can play in both wings as well. So Forrest could play in both wings. You could chuck him in cam if you need him to, but so it's good to have that versatility across that.
Yep.
Very versatile players, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, just the 1-0 win over Luxembourg, but I think it allowed. I was about to say Scott Brown. Do not know why. Steve Clark, it allowed him.
Oh, you're thinking of 10 years time.
It allowed Steve Clark to get a good look at his
his options.
his squad, and I think most players got some minutes in the legs, which is important.
I think did every player play a part of the friendlies? I think they might have.
Well, John
Oh,
Fuckwit
apart
didn't,
from
Craig.
John Fleck and John McLaughlin as well. Apart from that, I think every
To
other
be
player
fair,
played a part in the
I
friendlies.
don't think a goalie really.
Yeah,
Because he's
Yeah,
not going to play. He's not going to
his
play.
third choice
I-
is only there in an absolute like emergency, really.
for the culture, for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Well, I think the only person that said that the Netherlands game would be a draw was Craig. The rest of us all thought the Netherlands would win.
Good.
guess Craig knows his ball.
I'm glad to be proved wrong.
Yeah.
Luxembourg game, we all said Scotland would win. Matt was probably the closest with his 2-1 prediction.
Well, was your 9-0 not close, Ferdinand?
No, I don't think my 9 was close, Craig, actually.
Should have been.
It should have been. It really should have been, but, we go again. So, next up is Glasgow. It's Hampden. It's next Monday. I wish it would just hurry the fuck up and be Monday. It's 2 o'clock kickoff in the afternoon. It is the Euros. I can't believe I'm saying it. It's unbelievable to think of. But let's just, with positive mindsets, let's run through what everyone thinks the score is going to be, and how many 0 to Scotland it's going to be. Craig.
So that's against the Czechs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Czech
We're
Republic.
going to start off with a nice 2-0 victory. That's how we're going to start the Euros.
Billy.
I don't think I'm in the right frame of mind to make such predictions right now. I will be on tenterhooks in my place of establishment. There'll not be much work done on Monday afternoon, but I think we have enough to beat the Czechs, and I will go 2-1 to Scotland.
Sure.
I'm hoping that we start well, and I think it's going to be a cagey sort of boring game, but I think we're going to sneak it 1-0.
I'll take a 1-0. I'll take a 1-0.
Yeah, I don't. I think we'll win. I can't believe I'm saying that. I think we'll win at a major tournament, and I think me, Ferg, and Drew are going to send the Drew household wild when the second goes in, and I think it'll be 2-0 to Scotland.
Sink the racists. That's what I say.
That's it.
I think maybe a few nerves for the Scotland team. We will concede, but I think we'll overcome it anyway, and we'll score 3, and it will be 3-1 to Scotland. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I'll cry so hard.
Yeah. Are you just wanting to put in provisional scores for the other 2 games in the group, or?
Oh no.
No, not yet.
We wait and reserve judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, we will. When did you say the next one is? Friday.
The Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
Then the one after that, when's that?
The Tuesday.
The Tuesday.
The Monday, Friday, Tuesday. Okay.
Right. We'll wait. We'll reserve judgment for that. One last thing, Craig. Do we get out the group?
Yes. Yeah.
Billy, do we get out the group?
Yes, as one of the 4 best third place teams.
Doesn't matter.
Matt, are we out the group?
Yep.
Sure.
Yep, I think the same as Billy.
Well, I think everyone else said yes. I'm going to say yes as well.
We have to.
We've got the potential in that group to finish better than third place, though. There's also the potential in that group to finish dead bottom, but the key thing is starting strong on Monday and getting a win. Put us in a good position before we head down to Wembley, because
if we get a win, it would be quite hard for us not to get out of the group, possibly.
Three
So
Yeah.
3 points is should be enough. It was enough in the last Euros anyway. Quite a few teams went through in 3 points.
in Portugal.
Including Portugal, they went through in 3 points and they won the tournament. So
Wow.
I think
I
the
reckon.
Czech game is the biggest game out of three, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah.
We can
Yeah, I think our hardest game's probably going to be England because it's away from home. They're probably the strongest team in the group. As much as it pains me to say that, but yeah, I think they'll be the hardest game.
We've got
Yeah.
quite well if we've got the first game against the Czechs. It's because it's probably in my opinion it's the best game to have first. We need to go. We know that it's a game that we should be aiming to win the most out of the 3 games anyway. Obviously we'll be aiming to win every game, but get that one out of the way and then you move on from there. You win, and then it gives you the confidence to go down to
I think
Wembley.
we win that first game. There's no pressure
Yeah,
really on any of the players to go to Wembley and to play Croatia because we've already done what could be enough to get out the group. So from the rest of it, it's just play. Go see what
Yeah.
you can do.
Don't take anything for granted from
No.
3 points either.
Yeah.
Like, get 3 points and still push to try and get something out of the
3 points is
other 2 games.
100% guarantee. So you need to be
Yeah.
careful. You need to try, but I
And
hope
they'll,
we
all-
don't
they'll,
get.
they'll all know that.
Hope we don't beat the Czechs and then try and go down to Wembley or against Croatia and try play for a draw. But there's no point in us playing for a draw. That doesn't do anything for us. We need to just go and try and beat them. And on our
Yeah,
day,
we
need to-
people have beaten both teams, every team in that group. So
That's exciting.
It's making me nervous talking about it more.
Oh, I'm a bag of nerves. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a bag of
Yeah.
nerves right now.
Very nervous.
Um,
Good nerve.
short and sweet. Short and sweet. We'll leave this episode, and we'll be back at some point in the near future, hopefully. Just it all depends on timings and Euros matches and people's work and just a big can of worms. But we will be back hopefully before the England game, maybe a few of us.
Mhm.
And until then, say your goodbyes, Matt.
Yep. Hope everyone enjoys the game and enjoy it to everyone that's lucky enough to be going as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if everyone takes care, thanks always for listening, and come on, Scotland.
Billy.
Yeah, God, everybody that's there. Well, yeah, hope you enjoy the game. I will not be there. I won't even be watching the game. So I hope everyone that is watching the game, whether it be in the pubs or the houses, obviously within the permitted limits, I hope you have a great time, and hopefully we can cheer on the boys to get a good result on Monday against the Czechs. Goodbye.
And Craig.
surely it can be like Schoolbill where they'll be winning one of those TVs into the bank for you to watch the games on.
A rollie. A go to the roll
I
club.
highly
A
doubt
rollie?
that.
I don't think you can smoke in the bank, mate.
I
But
don't think I'll do that.
yes, goodbye and very much good luck, Scotland.
And finally, from me, everyone else has already said enjoy, but I do repeat that enjoy. Try not to get too worried, stressed out about Scotland
Try.
doing badly or whatever we do. Just enjoy the experience. It's been a while, and yep, it's too late outside to say goodnight. So yeah, goodbye and God bless.